Hello everyone, and welcome to the new season. Because now we have the top teams for the new season, which hasn't gone live, but it will be live tomorrow. I did some deep dive into the meta and how it's gonna look like. I asked lots of regional winners, and they provide me their feedback with my phenomenal knowledge and and I was able to come up with some of the great teams that actually I do believe that will be instant meta and instantly like the top meta teams in the Go Battle League. My name is Yasser Ali. I'm a Twitch streamer. I stream on Twitch and I do make YouTube videos. So if this is the first time you make it here, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like the video if you like the content. And let's go and head to the main Mons. And you guys can see that this thing has become way more chaotic than it used to. And that's because, you know, like they changed the meta afterwards. And then since then, they keep adding more stuff into the meta, more OP Pokemons. As an example, now we have Fortress. And Fortress is expected to be the strongest Pokemon. There is Gligar, there is Samaranth. There is Araquanid. It's usable, actually. There is Dusclops, Dusknoir. There is Malamar, which might drop in the meta. There is Metang. Do you guys know Metang? It's the second evolution of Metagross. Or Buildum. Call whatever you want. Like upside down or from bottom to top. And Malamar like was the top meta Pokemon. Now it will have a pushback because Fortress is just going to be everywhere. And Fortress will eat Malamar alive, I'm telling you. There is also Jellicent, which is the best anti-meta Pokemon for the next season. People will be like, no, yeah, it's meta. Dude, it's good because it beats the bugs. And the bugs are the meta, which make it the anti-bugs. The anti-meta. Lapras is still decent if you believe what I say in this channel. Jumpluff is still insanely strong because it does beat the bugs. Except with Fortress, it's a different case, but Acrobatic still hit for a great neutral damage. We're talking about a better version of Outrage. So imagine Outrage that's cheaper by 5 energy. Anything here that was meta and will have a fall off, I think it's pretty much just Malamar. Everything else would still be as good. As an example, Annihilate would still be good. In fact, it might even be better because it resists the bug damage, right? So against Fortress, you're gonna destroy it. So expect Annihilate to come back to the meta. If we take a look on PvP, we will find out that Clodside is still number 1, Fortress is number 2, Corviknight number 3. The top 3, or there is only one usable Pokemon. Dusclops, I do believe that Dusclops is going to be one of the strongest. It might be the best fast move pressure Pokemon. It will replace Feraligatr. So Dusclops, write that thing down. Dusclops is the new Feraligatr. Why? Because Shadow Claw will like kind of disappear because all the Shadow Claw users lose to the bugs and the normal types. As an example, Golipod is number 6 and it's running Fury Cutter. So Dusclops will no longer lose to the normal type because they no longer double resist Shadow Claw. Jumpluff is still decent. Gligar is going to be good. Samaranth is going to be fine. Mandibuzz and Jellicent are probably the best anti-meta Pokemons. But yes, I don't see Azu. Well, Azu is insanely strong next season. If you think that Azu was good this season, it will be even better. And I've been saying this since season, I think, 6. Whenever the new season starts, I say, if you think Azu was good last season, it's going to be better next season. And this Pokemon just keeps getting better and better and better. This Pokemon has always been good. And if you haven't built one, I don't know what you're waiting. I don't know why you're waiting on the Azu. It's the strongest Pokemon. Why wouldn't you invest in that? Now, as far as Grumpig, the thing about the Grumpig, it gets destroyed by the bug users. So I wouldn't expect it to be that meta relevant. Same for Dugong, because most of the bugs either are water or steel. And they both resist ice shards. So it won't be as good for next season, especially when those bugs are doing neutral, taking resisted and hitting you for the neutral. Where like for Dugong, when Dugong needs to throw Drill Run, that's when you know the matchup is bad. So this is what I'm telling you. As far as Golisopod, you just wall it. But the thing is, Golisopod just doesn't have stats, so Dugong can use its bulk to fight back. So let's talk about the top performing teams. All these teams were built by me. So if you use any of these and have a great success, make sure to leave in the comment section below. Hey, yeah, I said the season haven't started. I used this team and I went 25-0. I know it's lie, but hey. In this channel, we appreciate glazing, okay? Let's be honest. And first team, we will go with Fortress. So, as always, since we started this in the last season, I will provide you with 2 different teams for each meta Pokemon. As an example, with Fortress, you can either go with Diggersby or with Jumpluff, okay? So, with Diggersby, you're kind of just... with the Jellicent... As I said Jumpluff, I meant Jellicent. With Jumpluff, you just go fully anti-fire. So that's why we have 2 ground Pokemons. As you can see. With Diggersby, you have to go for an ABC team. And that's why you have to run a Jumpluff. Because both are low-key weak to Annihilate. So that's why we're running Jumpluff, which is a hard counter. Technically, I mean, they still have Ice Punch, which will wreck you. But the thing is, you can just out-spam them, right? While here you just try to out-neutral the Annihilate, and then you have Jellicent as the hard counter. So this is as far as Fortress. Is there anything else you could run with Fortress? You have to run a ground Pokemon. There is no doubt about that. If you want to use Fortress, you have to run a ground Pokemon. So you kind of either go ABB, like hit double water, or you can go ABC. It's up to you. The second Pokemon here, we're talking about Golipod. The thing about Golipod, it's not bulky, so you might want to run a bulky team with it. So I would recommend the Ufisk for it. I mean, they aren't bulky, but this team kind of rely on just being annoying and spammy. But like with this one, you go Claydol and Morpeko. I think Claydol is a bit of a stretch here. I would rather use Diggersby or Gastrodon, to be honest. But the thing is, you kind of need to have a flying coverage. So you could even do Fortress, I think. You can do Fortress here. Or you can just go with Shadow Diggersby. Up to you. But the Pokemon I'm interested the most with, I mean, it's Fortress, right? The second one is actually Dusclops. What's the thing about Dusclops? Dusclops is expected to be the new tap Pokemon. Like, it's just a hard hitting fast move pressure Pokemon, and it will, since like Feraligatr is like getting like so many Feraligatr counters are getting above, Dusclops might be the new fast based Pokemon. So with Dusclops, you kind of have to have like a dark counter, so that's why we're running Gligar. How is Gligar a dark counter? It has Fury Cutter, if you don't know. I don't know if you know that, but it has Fury Cutter, and it beats the dark type, which are Sable Guy and Pangoro. And Pangoro takes lots of damage from Aerial Ace, right? Or here, you can just do Carping. But the thing is, if you run this team, you're kind of triple weak to Pangoro, because Pangoro into Carping is a good matchup for Pangoro because they resist Rock Throws, and Carping takes forever to get to a charge move. While with this team, you kind of have like a softer play, because if you're using non-Shadow Dusclops into Pangoro and they don't boost, it's not a bad matchup, because you can let go one of the Night Slashes. Dusknoir here, I think it's like this team is like kind of like this. Okay. Because you kind of run ABB. You try to bait out the Pangoro. Well, the Pangoro is always in the lead. That's why I prefer leading Gligar with this team. These teams are like pretty flexible. You can lead whatever you want in anyone you want. Moving into the next one, which is another version of Dusclops, which is Sableye. With Sableye, it's kind of different, but like Sableye is not weak to Dark. It's kind of weak to the bugs, but it has a good play into the bugs because, you know, it's subtyping Ghost, which resists, super effective. It comes out as a neutral. Sableye loves Diggersby or Clodsire in the current meta, while in the past it loves Azu. You could still pair it with Azu, to be honest. It's not a bad situation to be in. But the thing is, you just want to account for the Jumpluffs. So that's why you have to try to do 2 counters to Jumpluff. I mean, Gligar has Fury Cutter and Jumpluff is a flyer, but it's a subtyping grass, so Fury Cutter is neutral. You have Aerial Aces, technically. But Jumpluff, I think, still put lots of pressure into it, because Acrobatic is just a hard-hitting charge move. While here, like, if you get into a Jumpluff with the second team, Jumpluff lead, you just go to Credeli and You just try to stall out the switch clock. Now, one of the Pokemons that didn't get a buff, but is actually buffed, is Tinkaton. Tinkaton, I do believe that the Pokemon that get benefited the most from the new season update. And that's because they buffed so many bugs, and all the bugs technically lose to Tinkaton. And Golisopod used to be Tinkaton because they run Shadow Claw, but now they run Fury Cutter. So I don't know how it goes. With the buff to Fury Cutter, it might become it's still fine because, you know, Shadow Claw used to be non-stab, Fury Cutter is a stab. One-turn stab moves are usually ridiculous because of the way the damage formula work, where like it always round up. So there might be some breakpoints that we need to be aware of. With Tinkaton, you pretty much go all in anti-ghost. So because the ghosts are annoying. Like Dusclops destroys Tinkaton because like the way how much Astonish does. And they have a good baiting move, which is Shadow Punch. So that's why you kind of hit go all in anti-ghost with Mandibuzz and and as I said, Mandibuzz and Jellicent are the best anti-meta Pokemons. With the second team, you kind of go like hard-hitting fast move pressures. And remember that Galarian Moltres now runs Fly with Brave Bird. You don't run Ancient Power. You don't care about Ancient Power. So that's why you just run Fly, Brave Bird. As Mr. Lyles Jeff said, you should be running Fly, Brave Bird like a human being. Okay, that's literally what he told me. He's like, oh, can we just run Fly, Brave Bird like a human being? Like a normal human being? Next one. Credeli. Credeli is still as good, but, you know, like in the current season, in the past season, Season 22, we used to run it with a Dark type, or and the Dark type is usually either Guzzlord or Morpeko. Now you have to run it with either a Fairy or a Bug. Okay, that's how the new meta works. Okay, we have to account for the new counters. So as an example, now one of the biggest Pokemons is Golisopod. So you have to account for Golisopod. Fortress is Fortress no longer on Voltus, which they are in Fury Cutter. So Jellicent now is a good counter to Fortress. And as you can see, I did not put here what's his face, Morpeko. I put Dedenne. Why Dedenne over Morpeko? They technically do like the same amount of job, like the same amount of work, except that Dedenne is a good anti bug, while Morpeko loses to the bugs because bugs are super effective to dark, while fairies resist bug. So that's why I used the Dedenne here. And remember that Parabolic got a buff this season, so that will be the second time Parabolic Charge gets a buff. And I do intend to use these Pokemons that get a buff, but people still don't use them. That's what this channel is known for. You can just run here either with this. You can just go and risk it. But the thing is, if you go with the bottom line, you're kind of weak to Typhlosion, and people still expect Typhlosion to be the best anti-meta Pokemon. I still think it's Jellicent, but that doesn't mean Typhlosion isn't the Chad. Now, as far as Corviknight, I hate Corviknight. I don't like Corviknight, but the thing is about Corviknight, it's still top 3 on PvP, so I still have to make teams about it. And I changed the teams from like Corviknight Goodra Core or Corviknight Gastro into Corviknight with a Fairy. So we have to run a Fairy with Corviknight, because Corviknight still has a Steel Flying, which is supposed to be the ultimate nightmare for bugs, still lose to the bugs. Because of the stupid Sand Attack and how, like, because it's just an unstab damage that does no damage. Non-stab fast move. So they need to give some respect to Corviknight and just give it Drill Peck, to be honest. I don't know why they didn't give it Drill Peck from the first place. It's just annoying. So you can either run Double Charm or you just run Superior with Carbink. What does Carbink do? It hits all the bugs with and it has 250 defense, so insane bulk. I mean, you could run Basti, but I'm not gonna use a Basti team. If you want to build a Basti team, I feel like you should go somewhere else, because this channel does not like Basti and does not appreciate Basti content. Next team, Ferret. Ferret is still decent, okay? Don't sleep on Ferret. Ferret is still decent, annoying, spammy, and too good of a Pokemon. So you could still do Ferret Double Fairy. You can still do actually Ferret Talonflame Core. As far as the ground, I wouldn't use Claydol. I would use Gastro. I would use Diggersby. I would use Clodsire. Now, moving into the Beast. This Pokemon is a beast. Okay, that's Typhlosion. What's Typhlosion good with? Typhlosion needs a water type Pokemon. Why? Because you need to out neutral the Mud Slappers. Okay, so you need a neutral to Mud Slap and a Pokemon that beats the Mud Slappers. And with Typhlosion, I like to pair it with either Lapras or Samaranth. The thing about Samaranth, it has Fury Cutter and Mega Horn, so technically expect this Pokemon to be the new Feraligatr. Yeah, so you just said Dusclops is the new Feraligatr. Yes. Yeah, I mean, Fury Cutter just doesn't do that much damage. It's non-stab, but it's just gonna be like a spammy, annoying Pokemon that just keep throwing Hydro Cannons after Hydro Cannons. Now, remember, like, when last season they nerfed Corsola? Corsola this season will actually be good because it's... it resists the bugs, and it has a super effective move to hit the bugs with, which is Power Gem. So it's actually going to be usable. You can do Jump Bluff here if you fear something like Gastro, and you have to have a hard counter to Gastro. While here, we don't have a hard counter to Gastro. Here, we're trying to hard counter the Claydol. So if you think Claydol is more meta, you can go with the upper team. If you think Gastro is the meta, you can go with the lower team. Now, as far as Lapras, I mean, I feel like I talked about Lapras so much. Lapras is still decent, still good, still insanely good, okay? The only thing you worry about Lapras with the new meta is actually Fortress, but it's not that much of a problem because you get to the Sparkling Aria before they get to the Rock Tomb, right? So you can just throw... Sparkling Aria, tank the Rock Tomb, and then switch out. Now, as far as Lapras, I like to pair it with Tinkaton or Clodsire. And then I like to have it with a Ghost, just in case the opponent has a Annihilate. And as I told you, Annihilate will be meta next season. Now, we talked about Mandibuzz. What teams should you run with Mandibuzz? Honestly, the thing about Mandibuzz, I like to pair it with Wiggly or with Ufisk. So the third is up to you. You could go with literally anything. The Pokemon now that actually people love to use, which is Malamar, and it was actually the most fun, the most popular Pokemon in the previous season, which is about to end today. Technically, we still have less than 24 hours. Malamar was the Pokemon that existed everywhere because people were enjoying it. And now because of the buff, it will disappear. And if you want to run Malamar, you have to run 2 of the hardest rolls to the bugs. So you can do a bug and a fairy, or you can just go double ground. But there is a beast mode, demon mode, Pokemon, and that's Annihilate. Annihilate next season will be better than previous season. I mean, the previous season, it was still fine, and it has some great plays sometimes in some cases, but you have to play it in a way where, like, you have to bait out the Annihilate counters, and then you just 2-shield Annihilate later in the game. I think in the new season, it's going to be better because it just destroys the bugs. And you can either run it with Diggersby or Jumpluff, and the third is up to you. I think here I wouldn't run this guy. I would run Blastoise instead, because Blastoise is a good counter to the bugs. I feel like I did not talk about any Blastoise teams. Usually the Pokemon I don't talk about, I make a video about. So if you think there is any Pokemons I did not talk about, leave in the comment section below and I will make a dedicated video about it. Togetic... I don't know what to tell you about Togetic. You could use it. It's not the end of the world, but it's kind of the end of the world. And as far as the team that I always recommend, remember, like, the team I used to spam Azudrabe A/, and then last season it became Azudrabe Lapras. Now it's going to become Azu Lapras and Dunsparce. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much everyone for watching. If you like the video, leave a like to the channel, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I will catch you all in the next video. Good luck with the current season. We will do pushing the current season. Good luck in the next season. I hope you hit all the milestones that you would love to hit. And thank you so much for watching. It was a great season catching up with you guys and making videos for the previous season. And I don't know, it's interacting with you guys. So I appreciate all the kind words that you guys have been spamming in the comments. And remember, there is always next season, and there is always a new milestone to focus on. Good luck, my friends, to you, to me, to everyone. And yeah, we have a new season to catch up with and make content about. So you guys would love, enjoy, and watch. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever you're having. Peace.